What's up, everyone? Happy Wednesday. Uh-oh, she saw me get her sister. Okay. Welcome to the stream, everybody. I am solo in the house with the girls at the moment, so it's about their nap time, so I gotta go put them down in like maybe 10 or so minutes while we wait for everyone to get into stream. But yeah, until then, we're just gonna hang out with the girls. Okay, no, that's a permanent marker. You do not play with that one. You can... Here, 1 second. Let me get you something cool to play with. Here. Yeah. Now you need something cool. What else is there? Look, oh my gosh. That's a permanent marker. No. Do. Oh, they found my desk drawer with all the small little tidbits in it. Okay. Oh, the chat. I didn't even get the chat properly set up. Okay, girls. I need you to just chill 1 second. I need you to chill while I get the stream set up. Okay. Here. Play with this one. No? Not interesting? Oh, I know. It's a leveler. It's a leveler. Very cool. Very pretty. Here. Okay. Let me pop chat out. Okay, so get that. Okay, of course you toss it. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Comment highlighter. Okay. I know. Okay, fine. You can bang on the keyboard. Go. Look at how much fun they're having. Oh my goodness, these girls. Oh my goodness, you guys are having too much fun. Okay, I'm gonna put you down for a second. Don't freak out. Okay, you good? You chill? Play with that keyboard in there. Okay, where's the live chat? Master Dope 397. Hope you're doing good, homie. Cute kids, nice family. Have a good one. Thanks for the $5 super chat. I appreciate it. Okay, what are you two doing? Okay, this one's a little too small for you. Oh, here we go. Okay. Live chat. Come on. Boom. We should be good. There we go. All right. We good there. Okay. On it. Oh. Which I think. Okay. Ant-Man was first today. What up, Ant-Man? What up, Kale? Yes, I did accidentally have the same thumbnail. I made a new thumbnail, but I forgot to change it when I was setting up the stream. But it should be fixed now. No more portable monitors. For a while, I think. Yeah. Let's see what else we got. We're just gonna hang out here. I know. You guys are stuck in prison right now. We should be good. I got the chat set up. So let's go. But I need you guys to chill out. Okay? We need to chill out. We can't go crazy while I read the chat. Oh my goodness. Going for the permanent markers again. Okay, girls. We gotta chill. Where did my mouse go? Okay. Saw one of your neighbors on dark web daily news. He got busted for drug trafficking. Why do you... Ant-Man, you need to get off the dark web. I'm telling you. It's corrupting you. The case that Craig Lilly's talking about is the one in the thumbnail. That looks like a bunch of heat boxes interconnected. How's anything cooled? We will take a look at it. There's not much information about this case, which is... but I've been seeing it like all over my feed, which is really strange. Like doing a Reddit search and stuff like that, there's almost no mention of it because I think they these content creators who did get their hands on them only released their stuff like a day or two ago. So it is a very freshly new case. Not much discussion on it. So we'll talk about it during the stream. Okay, look. Is it nap time? Is it time for me to take you up for a nap? Can we chill? Here. I gotta hold you over here. Here. There you go. Play with it all you want. Guys, GTA 6 pre-orders are live. Are they? I can't tell if you're trolling or not, Ant-Man. But what's the point of pre-ordering game? Aren't most people gonna buy it digital anyways? Are you... I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts on pre-ordering and getting like, ooh, digital exclusive items and stuff? I guess with GTA, you probably get like shark card money, which is worth something, I guess. But, yeah, I don't know. Why pre-order when... It's not like pre-ordering back in the day where like you wanted to guarantee yourself a copy at a physical store because there's limited amounts of them. Now everything is digital. There's no, you know, it's not a finite number of games. Okay. You guys, if you guys can chill for a bit, you can hang out. Otherwise, it's nap time. Nope. No. Okay. They're starting to fuss. So I'm gonna take them up for a nap. I will be right back. Where's the be right back screen? Okay, we are back. Let me check to make sure. They went down pretty quickly. I gotta turn my baby monitor on. Okay. We are good. All right. Give her the Stream Deck. No way. Maybe give her my old controllers or something to play with, but I don't even have a Stream Deck. Yeah, they just turned 1 year old yesterday. I didn't post anything on YouTube about it, but I did post on my Instagram. It was like a little compilation video that I put together for them, so hopefully they can look back at that once they're older and kind of see their progression. What's up, Toy Y'all 1? Yo, what's up, y'all? It's been a bit. What up, Jensen? Anyway, I just want to say that Forza Horizon 6 is amazing. So glad it came out. What is the general consensus on it right now? Because... Oh, wait, was this playing in the background the whole time? No, okay, that was muted. Nice. Okay, Forza... Plug in my keyboard. I was seeing a lot of people complain about a lot of things before Forza came out, saying, oh, it's micro slop. They're just going to mess it up. They're just, you know. I feel like Forza, for such a big release like this, I can't imagine them really messing it up. There's always going to be like those people who are always going to hate and criticize no matter what. But I think I've just would imagine a general consensus of this game, you know, this franchise would be pretty good. But let's take a look. What is the rating so far? 9 out of 10 on Steam, 4.4. Okay, 95% like this. Let's take a look at the Steam. Very positive. Just released the 18th, so it's 2 days. But yeah, I was seeing a lot of criticism and hate like regarding the small map, the lack of like lots of big cities, a lot of country roads, forests, and mountains and stuff like that. People were saying like it didn't look lively. We'll have to see because obviously first few days is not that large of a window. Um, but very positive so far. But nice, Jensen, you're playing that and you're enjoying it. I do plan to pick it up. Uh, Not right away, but I do plan to probably pick it up within the next month or so. You can hardly handle one, bro's putting in work. Ah, man, two is crazy. I've only ever experienced two though, right? These are our first kids. Probably in my hopes are last. I'm good with two kids, but I don't know what it's like to have one child. So in terms of difficulty, this is all I've ever known. So I can imagine though having one child is at least a little bit easier. But yeah, when's the next land? The next land is it's already scheduled for early June. It's gonna be at my place. I'd still need to run the idea by the gang to see if we could have at least some portion of it live streamed. Like during one of the sessions while we're gaming or something, and maybe I can have people take the hot seat. So like I'll turn on the streams and I'll let various land members sit in the chair and interact with you guys and chat and stuff like that. But yeah, the next LAN is gonna be in June, which is about 6 months out from our last LAN in December. So we're back on that interval. Hopefully I can get this video out sooner though. Matthew says, "Oh, what up, Stang? Hello, hello, hello. Hope you and the fam are doing well, as always. I'm trying to buy my little brother-in-law a GPU CPU to upgrade from his 1700X and 1060 6GB. Lol. I can't find anything in the Seattle market that is worth the price. Oh, we could probably take a look in. Are you? Wait, really? I have found things recently that maybe not CPU. With the CPU, you could probably, I think a 50. I would aim for a 5600. I would definitely not go for an X3D chip because those are too expensive. But I'm trying to think. I think a 5500 might be even a slight upgrade over a 1700X, just because the 1700Xs are so old by this point. But regarding graphics cards, there are a ton of graphics cards that will like annihilate the 60GB 1060 in the Seattle market. I was looking recently. I don't know how much you have to spend, but we can definitely find something. I don't know if you can stay for. So I definitely want to talk about the Phanteks case first, but afterwards, this stream is gonna be pretty chill. We're gonna just do whatever the chat feels like. So we can definitely try to look at stuff in the Seattle market specifically for you, Matthew. Also, if we start going that direction for a stream, if anyone is looking for PC parts in their own local market, if you give me like your zip code, I would be happy to browse deals in your area to help you try to find something. If you're seriously looking to buy stuff and have like money on hand ready to go. We haven't done that in a while, so this could be a deal hunting local market stream, which is always fun because I like looking at other people's hardware markets because sometimes they're better than what I have around me, but sometimes they're just like horrible. And then I could guide you towards like Jala or eBay or something. But yeah, what's up, Wanaquan? Hope you are well. What brand is the chair you're sitting on? This is the Libra Novo. So this is the Libra Novo that I did the sponsored video with a few months ago. It is a very nice chair, though it is a quite expensive chair. They are coming out with a cheaper version that doesn't have an electric motor in it. That's gonna be, but it's still gonna be around like $600-ish. But this one was like $1,000+ So it is nice, but premium chairs usually come at a more premium cost. I don't know what the most premium like under $200 chair is, for example, but I chairs are one of those things where like I have chairs that I've used for like 7-8 years, and so long as you take care of them and they're not like complete garbage. They should last you a while, so they could be worth the investment if they're comfortable for you. But yeah, Chert 6754 says first stream I made it to in a while. Lol. Glad to see you back. Where's Melissa? She they went to like a baseball game for a work event thing, so she's coming home later than usual. And the funny thing is, my sister-in-law, who usually helps today, her work also had a thing where they went to the same baseball game, the Seattle Mariners. So they were both at the same baseball game, and with the traffic and stuff like that, they're taking a little bit longer to get home. So that's why I was with the girls solo. But they are both knocked out right now, so perfect. The nap schedule was timed correctly. I think you might be excited about the Phanteks case based on the thumbnail. I do want to. I'm gonna save to. Oh, it's already 5:16. All right, so 4 more minutes. Let me get through the rest of the chat, and then we will talk about the Phanteks case. Because yes, I think it is a pretty freaking cool case, and I will explain why once we get there. The EX5 Plus looks awesome. I've already watched a few people building it. Yeah. We'll go over it though. They limited the samples that went out, it seems. I think I counted like 5 people maybe that got access to this case early. I think it's gonna be fully unveiled at Computex, which is in like the next couple of weeks. But yeah, they definitely I didn't see any of the bigger channels release anything on it, except for a Salem Techspert, who is a larger channel. But in terms of like Jay, Paul, Kyle, Linus, Hardware Canucks, the people who typically also get cases, Gamers Nexus, I did not see any from them. So yeah. What up, HDZ? How'd they sleep so quick? It's because they went to sleep quickly because they've already been awake for 3 hours, and that's about their usual wake window. Our girls, let me see if I can show you. So I've got, you can't really see it. Oh, there you go. So there's the nursery. I got a cam on it, but they're both knocked out. So with our girls, we're on a pretty good schedule. They know as soon as we put them in their nursery, where we close the blinds, we have blackout blinds, and then we have a noise machine, and the lights go off. After they've been awake for about 2.5, 3 hours, when we put them into their cribs, they just face, flat down on their sheets, and then they just knock out. So, it wasn't always that way, but it's one of those things where when other parents tell you, get your kids on a schedule, it actually does work. They get used to that repetition of oh, okay, when all these things happen, all these cues, it's time to go to sleep. So, yeah. Yes, yeah. One next month. I forget. I'm not sure if you shared which day exactly, but maybe if you want to keep that private, that's fine. But yeah, the girl's birthday is May 19th. So we had a fun day yesterday. Interesting thing, Stang. Build-A-Bear, they give you a birthday bear every single year. And the cost is the age of your child. So for the girls, they got their first birthday bears for $1 each. And then when they become 2 years old, if you take them to Build-A-Bear, it's $2 each. And that includes the heart and the stuffing and stuff. We did buy some outfits because I just felt bad. I didn't want to be a complete cheapo going in there just getting the free or $1 bear. So we did buy them some cute pajama outfits. So these are going to be their bedtime bears. But yeah, for anyone with kids, if you want something relatively cheap to do, you can go build a bear with your child, and it costs the same amount as their birthday age. And the bear's base cost is $14. So once they become 14, that's when it's about breaks even the cost. But yeah. It is terrible how there isn't a $500 market anymore. There kind of is, but I would say there isn't for less experienced deal hunters. If you're someone who's been doing this for years or are very familiar with parts, hardware, performance, and typical prices and deals, you can still build PCs around this price. It's going to take effort. It's going to take some patience. But if you're someone who's more new to the space, it's a lot more difficult. I would agree with you there. Like just the lower cost stuff, just DDR4 prices are even up. Not as bad as DDR5, but it is still up. So it makes it harder to do builds around this price. Crossing, oh yeah, so the 5800 XTD re-release that we talked about a couple of weeks ago, I honestly, like I said previously, I don't have much faith in it being that like it's gonna be like affordable. It wouldn't. I forgot. Did I give a price last time when we talked about the re-release of the 5800 XTD? But honestly, to me, it needs to be like 250 or less. I don't imagine they're gonna re-release it selling it at 250 or less. It's probably gonna be, if I had to guess right now, like 279 or something, to maybe 289. I think it's gonna be closer to $300, which at that point, even with the higher cost of DDR5, it's just like, I would say it's more worth it to just make the platform upgrade to AM5 if you're going to be paying near $300 for an AM4 CPU. Like, to me, it just makes no sense. What's the crown next to your name? I think it just means you've been chatting quite a bit and you are like number 3 on the leaderboards. I don't know. YouTube's been doing some weird stuff with their live stream as of late. Oh yeah, top fans. So you get XP experience points for how much you chat and interact and stuff like that. And you're number 3 in terms of the top fans. Is the 2050 a viable choice? The local computer has 10 in stock for $80. I don't. 2050? Is that a typo? Was 2050 even a graphics card? I thought that might have been only like mobile. I don't think a 2050 was ever a desktop discrete GPU. Let's take a look. So 2050 GPU, it said entry level laptop GPU. But now if that was a typo and you meant 3050, then I would say at $80, a 3050 is a pretty good deal. Pretty good price. Let me see, NT Tech, where are you at? Was that a... Yeah, respond if that was a typo or not. Yo, what's up, Pedro Akura? Hello. Sorry, share class. I'm looking for a Ryzen 5600 for 150 NVIDIA. What? And they should totally do, but I just looked. Okay, before we get to the case, we'll get to the case that started at 530. Look. There's no way. I could have sworn I saw some 3070s for 300 or less. Okay, Everett, 30 miles, so that should be within your search area too. What? Here's one in Kirkland, listed 5 hours ago for $250. Kirkland, I would consider the Seattle area. You gotta go across the water or up and around, but this one is a brand new listing. But let me see if there's any other 3070s. Here's one in Bothell. Okay, 350 is too much. Monroe, nope. Redmond, this one is 12 days ago, 250. Yeah. You could definitely find $250-ish, and you might be able to bargain it down even more. 3070s, which I think the price I would target is around 250 is like the max I would pay for a 3070. I would prefer like 225. You might be able to negotiate some of these listings down. For the Ryzen though, it's harder to find CPUs in the used market. Like here, Ryzen is like, is there a 5800? Like, let me see if there's anything here. Nope, 5700s. People just don't really sell CPUs standalone as much. I've noticed they would just rather sell the whole PC as is if they're gonna do a platform or CPU upgrade. But let's take a look at Facebook Marketplace. Dude, if 5800 XTD lands at $200, I will be very happy for budget gamers. But I just don't. in my soul, I don't believe that is gonna happen. Dude, Facebook Marketplace. Okay, here we go. So we're gonna change this to here. We'll go 40 miles, which is a little bit far, but see Ryzen 5800X. $90 Federal Way 3 days ago. $90 5600X. And maybe it's sold out. Oh wait, bent pins. It's not working. My Cips got dropped a couple times before I dropped it. It was working perfectly fine. Ooh, never mind. Bro, you want $90 for a bent pins? This needs to be like closer to $60 or $70 if it's unknown to be working. Yeah, I don't know about that. Let me see. Ryzen 2 AMD CPUs, 1700 2700X. For $50 is not the worst deal, but you already have a 1700. What's up, Refused? Make a tutorial called Dad on the Budget. What is this tutorial supposed to be? I am just now getting freaking ads during the live stream. They are annoying. They shouldn't be too common, but I mean, I've had ads on for like months now. You guys don't run ad block? You guys realize that like when ads run, it helps me and support the channel, right? And if you guys don't want ads to run, you can run ad block or you can get YouTube Premium. But complaining about ads in this day and age, I mean, I don't know what you expect me to do. Like, just stream completely for free. Like, I could turn off ads, but that doesn't help me out. There are people who do want to watch ads to support the channel. If ads are a big problem to you, turn on ad block. I mean, I'm not going to hold anything against you. I kind of expect people to do that anyways. But to bring up ads being an issue, when it's like, there must be so many other websites you go to that have ads as well, and you don't already run ad block. I don't understand. Yeah, or skip after 15 seconds. But you got to realize, like, if ads didn't exist, YouTube doesn't exist, right? Like, all the free content that you get to consume, all these free live stream sessions, everything, it just, YouTube ceases to exist. It already is probably struggling because people run ad block so much, but that's like kind of countered by YouTube Premium, stuff like that. So yeah, I don't want to hear about like complaining about ads on something that is completely free. I dead ass live in Kirkland. I'm always checking Facebook Marketplace. I didn't even think of OfferUp. Yeah, you gotta check OfferUp too. OfferUp is pretty solid. Yeah, no one has ever said I like to watch ads and they are annoying, but it's kind of one of those things where if you had a button to vote, do you want YouTube to exist or not? That's the same button that would be, do you want ads to exist or not, right? They're one of the same thing. If you could get rid of all ads on YouTube, but it meant YouTube completely shutting down this instant, are you really going to vote yes? You can get an RTX 3080 for 300. Depends on where you live. I don't know if there's any where I am, but let's see. So for me, 380, 350, 325 in Tacoma. If you were already, Matthew, if you were already willing to go up to, this is 11 weeks ago. This might be gone. Yeah, they are napping. Hello, welcome home. 11 weeks ago, this might already be gone. But if you already you were willing to spend up to 300 for a 3070, 325 for a 3080 would be the play. You go scrounge up another $25, that would be it. Here's the one in Federal Way. See, 23 weeks ago, 300 for a 3080 at this price, you could reach out to them. I'm thinking it's gone already. This was like half a year ago almost. I like ads. No, wait, that's cake. I like cake. Yeah, on videos, okay. There's two ways we could do the ads. One way is I could just let it run randomly, which is how I have it now. The other way is I could schedule ad breaks, but that means the ads will be served to everybody at the same time. And I don't know how that would affect, people's willingness to stay on stream. Um, Especially with people with YouTube Premium. But if I do a scheduled ad break, I would go like take a piss or grab some snacks or something like that. But I don't know. I feel like for the most part, people have not been complaining about the ads which have been left on. I do leave it at the lowest frequency. Like I have it on like the most minimum amount of ads automatically. But yeah. Can I sort by date listed? Last 7 days. Let's see what that gives us. Lake Stevens, 350, broken GPU. Yeah. I don't know if there's not many, but there's plenty of 3070s, Matthew. What's up, Hollow Rain PNW? We got another Pacific Northwest person in the chat. Yeah, Ant-Man says he uses Brave and it has a built-in ad blocker. And also, it's just like 2 clicks to get an ad blocker for any of the other browsers. They are more annoying on live streams during a riveting story. I don't have riveting stories to tell usually, but okay. We're about 30 minutes in the streams. Let's get into the case. Let's start talking about this case. So, this case that we are talking about, let's go do the YouTube search. It's called the Phanteks EX5. Hey, look, it's already popped up. Here's Peachy Tech's version. So, have you guys seen this case before today, before this stream? Yes or no? I'm just trying to get an idea of how chronically online all you guys are. And yeah. So I saw this basically because I'm subscribed to these people like Peachy Tech and Salem Techspert and stuff like that. But so I saw it basically when they released their shorts, which was like 2 days ago. And I thought it was really cool. So if we do a quick Google search on this, the case is called the EX5, right? If you look up Phanteks EX5, the only thing that you will find are these content creators, and it looks like they mostly sampled or sent them out early reviews or early samples to short form focus creators like Peachy Tech, Andy, the Salem Tech guy, Salem Techspert, John Tech. All these guys, for the most part, I think like had their come up on the short form side of things. But if you look it up, like if you type in EX5 with Reddit, you can't. This is Final Fantasy, so that's not related. Like this case is still pretty unknown to the point where nobody has. You can't even find like a search result hit on it looking for the exact name except for like video results. And we're gonna bring it up. So I'm gonna let's see who all got one. So Phanteks EX5. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I swear they only sampled like 4 or 5 of these. There's not many creators who have them, but we'll pull up the Salem Techspert one in a second. Oh yeah, and 91% of you guys who voted so far are saying no, you have not seen it. No Twitch slander will be tolerated. Law. It is a unique case. I might need to switch to Brave or Firefox. So the interesting about that is I still use Chrome. I don't know why. Firefox, I feel like is just as good. For the streams, I use Firefox because I use like an incognito window, none of my passwords saved, none of my autofill except for stream related stuff. I keep it separate so that I don't accidentally dox myself. because sometimes autofill forms and stuff come up, and then hey, look, your address or phone number is leaked, right? So just to be safe, I do that. But when I'm not streaming, I use Google Chrome, and it's because I've been using Google Chrome pretty much ever since Chrome came out. I don't even remember what year that is. I know Chrome has had its fair share of drama, but it works. And I'm just like used to it. Something about Firefox, trying to use it day to day, I don't know. Like, uh, I haven't consciously made the effort to switch to it. And then I haven't really tried any of the other browsers like Opera, Brave, and all that stuff. But until Chrome like royally screws up, which I feel like they haven't yet, because I think they still have a pretty decent market share. I'm just gonna continue to use it because that's where some of my stream extension stuff is built into too. Like when I do the comment highlighting stuff. It would be kind of a headache to reset that up for a different browser. I am an old man who is now stuck with Chrome. Exactly. I feel like that's what I am. It's one of those. It's like why I'm stuck with Adobe Premiere Pro. I've been using it for so many years that even though it might not be the best option around anymore, and it might be annoying in a lot of certain ways, and a lot of people hate it for a number of reasons. Like when you've been doing it for like 20 years, I don't think Chrome's been around for that long. But it's just, second nature. I have the Phanteks case, not this. A Phanteks case, not this one though. Yeah. Um, 3080 is probably the best value for the money I can see right now. Yeah, for around 325 or less, it's kind of hard to beat the 3080, even with 10 gigs of VRAM. People freak out over the 10 gigs of VRAM way more than they should. It's like, do you want this or do you want the more expensive RX 9060 XT, which has more VRAM but also loses to the 3080 in a bunch of games? I still use Edge and don't mind it. I will say Microsoft Edge. Is Edge what, like, does Internet Explorer still exist? Give me a second. I remember at one point in time when Internet Explorer and Edge were on Windows installs at the same time. But Internet Explorer is just completely gone now, right? And it's just all Edge. But Edge, I don't mind it either. Anytime I use it, I don't use it often, but anytime I do, just because like I need to pull up, a third browser for whatever reason that's not linked to Firefox or Chrome. Like Edge has come a long way from Internet Explorer days. uBlock Origin doesn't work on Chrome anymore, but doesn't other ad block stuff work? I could have sworn some of the other ones still did, like AdBlock Plus or any of the other ones. But yeah, y'all are distracting me from this case. But okay, I was actually trying to just talk to let the poll run. Most people have not heard of this case, so let's take a look at it. From Andy, the Salem Techspert. Oh my god, why is this so light? Didn't I have a dark mode? Where's the display appearance? Dark mode. Geez, there we go. Okay. We kind of have to watch it like this because it's vertical format. So yeah. Getting flashbanged by So they're supposedly releasing another EX. I pray it's a micro ATX version. If it is, I might have to get one to put my personal build-in. All right, let's break down this case. So earlier, I think it was Craig Lilly said something about, oh, it looks like a bunch of hot boxes, like, you know, stored together. Each of these, well, at least the areas that need it. So power supply goes down here. Probably has a, you know, typical vent hole at the bottom for the power supply. So in terms of circulating air, power supply basement, just like any other power supply basement, should be fine. So for the graphics card, you get this little kind of like extruded section. It's like its own individual box. As you can see from the video, there's mesh on, well, maybe you can't see because this is so tiny and I can't full screen this because it's a vertical video, but there is mesh on both top and bottom. You can see the mesh on the top here better. So your graphics card has its own dedicated, like the graphics card box or enclosure has its own dedicated mesh that it could breathe, completely separate from the motherboard or CPU, right? Because that's typically the two parts that interact with each other when it comes to like heat. Like, oh, is, you know, depending on how you set up your AIO loop and all that stuff, is it going to be, are you going to be pushing warm air through the radiator or cool air through the radiator and then bringing warm air into the case or cool air, right? So this isolates the individual components to their own, almost like, they have their own like heat exchangers and like cooling systems, because so you are limited to using an AIO. So for all the AIO dislikers similar to me out there, you will not be able to fit. It doesn't even look like it'll fit a, like, it looks like this was designed specifically. Look at it. This is the motherboard main chamber right here. It is pretty like narrow, I guess you could say. All I don't think this is gonna fit a low profile cooler. Just from the look of this, I'm not seeing one fitting here. So you would be forced in this case to use an AIO, which is already built into the case, 360 millimeters with these three fans here. And remember, AIOs are kind of their own isolated system as well, where wherever you put the radiator, on one side is where cool air is gonna enter, and the other side is where or cool or warm air is going to enter, and on the opposite side, the opposite is going to happen. So in terms of interaction, just looking at this design, like, is there going to be any, like, let's take a look at this. If GPU is bringing in cool air from the bottom, it's got all this open space for cool air coming in, and then it's going to expel it probably up to the top, you know, heat rises, whatever, and because of the direction of airflow, if we're continuously pulling in cool air here, it's going to be hard for the warm air to push back out down the bottom mesh. So we've got warm air coming up this direction. Now we look at the back side. So we got warm air coming up out of the graphics card enclosure. Then for here, it looks like the way the fans are set, I guess it's kind of hard to tell. Assuming these aren't reverse blade fans, it does look like part of this. Wait, did he have the, let's look at the smoke again. So he has pulling in there. Okay. Yeah, so this is pulling in air into the fan, into this mesh right here. So that would mean you could have some warm GPU air coming up, pulling through this one fan. Also, this middle fan is partially blocked. I'm just pointing out what I'm seeing in terms of like the way this case cools. Pulling in a little bit of warm GPU air is not the end of the world. Pulling or having this slightly blocked by the GPU enclosure, I also don't think is the end of the world. People are way too overly obsessed with like the optimal, like unobstructed cooling performance that they don't realize that even if you have like a 9800 X3D or 7800 X3D chip in here, this case, I can just tell is going to cool those things just fine. But all right, let's see what people have to say about this after we watch that first video. Let's see. I like that actually. I might try to. Oh, Ugar. Dang, that's sick. What AIO cooler is that? It's probably either some existing Phanteks 360 AIO or one that they designed specifically for this case. In terms of, let me look at the design again. So it's all built in. Like, you buy the case, it has the AIO already installed, and then it has this pump block, I think, already like in place, ready to go. I think let's go to Ptech's video real quick. Phanteks. What the heck? Text. Wait, how do you spell Phanteks again? KS. EX5. Okay, let's go to Ptech's video. Oh, stop. We need volume.
This is the new
So you saw how the AIO pump block was already hanging in that chamber, right? So it's already like kind of routed, ready to go. Good view of it right here. This I like this because you could use these shelves to like put stuff on it without affecting airflow that much. Like if you had a couple of Funko Pop figurines or whatever you like, or whatever your decorative items are. People just like to put Funko Pops and action figures in their cases. I don't personally do that, but there are things I would probably rest on here that's not liquid, like a drink or something. Don't rest your drink on this ledge because the condensation might drip down here. But there are things I would probably rest on each of these ledges that would barely affect airflow if at all, and I think it would be pretty convenient. But the look of the case, right? I like it. Someone in the chat said, so what up, Indecline? That looks like that one-off BMW case. Wait, which one-off BMW case? Kind of looks like a Lego block. It does look like maybe not a single Lego block, but like you know, like it was made from multiple Lego bricks, because you have like here's like a 2x4 brick, here's another 2x4, here's like a flat brick on the back. So I see if this was like super bright vibrant colors, I would totally get the Lego brick vibes. But it is pretty like compartmentalized, like blocky. Even though they are rounded edges, they're not sharp, but it is quite blocky in that regard. Almost like, even though this case isn't really like modular in that way, but it looks like it is, because each of these like component, I guess this shroud comes off, but it looks like it's multiple individual pieces all coming together, kind of like how, I mean, it does look like a motherboard with a graphics card sticking into it. The case mimics the actual form of the PC parts inside, so there's not a lot of wasted space. Have you guys like looked in a standard PC case and how much wasted interior volume there is? So like the thumbnail shows, I think this case overall is a really cool design. We have not really seen innovation in the PC space for many years. Everything has been either a block or like a block with a wedge on the corner. It seems like people are, not people, but like Height and companies like that, NZXT is doing that. They're doing these like slightly different block fish tank PC cases. I think this change is welcomed. I think there's definitely like more utility that comes with it, like being able to put stuff on the ledges and decorate your PC differently. And I just think the cooling is pretty innovative. Like, to actually we have seen PC cases where they've removed the AIO or put the AIO in its own separate chamber. So this is sort of kind of on that, like going towards that idea, except instead of giving it its own chamber, you just like put it out in the open. So, this is a unique idea, but I don't care for its look, says Ruto Jin. Not one person told them that. Wait, we can't. Wait, you guys can't hear the video audio?
Also, make sure you follow so you don't miss out on.
You guys heard none of that? I think on the earlier one, I might have had the audio off accidentally. We can't hear the video. Audio is fine, says Ruto Jin. You are not that late. You're about 50 minutes late. Hydrate reminder. Thank you. Oh, it's doing that thing again. All right, give me 1 second. It's doing that thing. Let me see if I can even change it. Okay. Can you hear it better now?
All the Computex coverage coming up. This is the new EX5 Plus.
If you're hearing it low, that's because it's coming through my mic through the speakers. We don't want the audio to work out like that. We want you to be able to
From Phanteks. And we're getting an
hear it
exclusive
direct from the source. Okay, let me replay it. Sorry, Peachy and Salem Texpert. I screwed you guys over. Let's play it again.
This is the
No. But the good thing, YouTube Shorts, because it's almost like a must that you got to have these little captions on it now. That helped out because even though you guys couldn't hear anything, you could read the text. But I'll play it again just to do their videos justice.
new EX5 Plus from Phanteks. And we're getting an exclusive first look. While fish tank PC cases have been super popular right now, Phanteks has been developing this insane design, which features dedicated zones for each main component. It was so easy to build in, plus the AIO was pre-installed, which cut my build time in half. I was also able to fit a huge GPU, which is framed so nicely by the architecture of the case. Now let's see what it looks like on. Y'all, can we appreciate the higher quality of production? And I even invested in a smoke machine, so we can easily visualize the airflow of this case. And apparently, this is just the beginning for Phanteks. They're gonna be debuting a bunch of super cool things at Computex, which I'm really excited for. Anyways, let me know what you guys thought about this PC case, and if this is something you'd rock in your setup. Also, make sure you follow so you don't miss out on all the Computex coverage coming up.
Okay, so I'm seeing some comments in the chat. If anything, it makes it harder to move. I don't think so. So if we look at the shape of the case, how do you guys pick up PC cases? I always pick it up from the bottom. Do I have a PC case on nearby? Somewhat, but that one's not the right shape of it. But you pretty much always pick up PC case from the bottom. Maybe sometimes you can hold the top edge, which this has some top edges. I don't think this should be that awkward to move. If anything, I don't know if you could hold on to these. Maybe it wouldn't be a good idea to like hold on to some of these ledges as well. But the bottom looks pretty stable, and then you can either grab like any of these side or top edges. It has no handles like the old cases. What old cases? Handles were never standard on cases. It would be cool if the like on the top here. Let me doodle this real quick. Actually, let me go to a better side shot. There we go. There are some. Is there like an online doodle? Let's see. Auto draw. Fast drawing. No. Quick draw. Let's draw. Can I paste? Oh my gosh. How? Sketch. Here we go. Draw, create, share. Can I paste this in? Yes. Okay. Zoom in. I have seen test bench type. Okay, how do you do this? I have seen test bench type cases, which have. They probably could have designed something into it. Oh my god, that's not a good color. We'll do it in yellow. But like, if they were to just integrate this into the backside, kind of like a suitcase type handle. You guys have probably seen cases like this that have a thing built into the design, or even if it was like screwed on or like flappable or retractable or whatever. Having a handle on any case, I would be a fan of. This case in particular, I think would be good for it because let me see if I can get a side angle. There is like a pretty solid back. Come on, where's the back side? Or maybe you can even do it to the top. Like the top / the backside. I feel like you could fit a handle like this at the very top. If you wanted a handle. Phanteks. That's a free idea for you, you know? But aside from that, I don't think it should be that hard to move. The GPU looks like it's going to have good temps. Wait, is not going to have good temps. What? Where are you guys? Did we not watch the video? Look, do we not see how the GPU clearly is getting airflow? Like, Phanteks, I don't know. I don't know if they're a multi-billion-dollar company, but at least multi-million-dollar company. Phanteks been around for a while. You think they would just overlook something as important as cooling for the GPU? It totally has airflow. What are you talking about? Do you think the case would fit a 355 millimeter long GPU? So what is this? Let me look at the. She put a. It looks like a 9070 XT Tai Chi. Let's see what the length of that is. 330. So I'm pretty sure this is a 9070 XT Tai Chi. Let me see if there's any closer shots of her installing it. Okay. Ooh, it's kind of hard to tell how much room there is. So the card she installed is 330 millimeters. You're asking for another 25 millimeters, which is about 1 inch. 2.54 centimeters is 1 inch. I don't know. That might be close. I do my damnedest to not pick up the PC. How do you clean it then? Do you dust your PC on the spot? Also, do you not go to LAN parties? Good for a showcase, but I can't see it being practical. I mean, let's be honest. Aren't like 90% of PC cases these days for showcasing? Aside for PC cases that have like a solid side panel, anything with transparent side is for showing off and showcase, which I know not everybody's into that, but a large majority is into that. The PC market wouldn't be the way it is today with the RGB, with the fish tank glasses, cases, with the huge panoramics, multi-glass windows and stuff. It wouldn't be that way if that's not what the market sort of demanded, right? PC cases are all about, unfortunately, or not all about, mostly about showcasing what you have inside and the aesthetics. I mean, there's plenty of options for plain PC cases where you're not trying to show off the looks, but this is just playing into that. If you go on PC Master Race, if you go on battle stations, if you go on PC Show Off, whatever, any forums, any subreddit, whatever, people love having beautiful, pretty looking PCs. You may not, but sorry to say, you are unfortunately in the minority. For me, I like having a side panel so I can see what's going on inside at least. But like you guys have seen, okay, let's see how the Wi-Fi is today. Let's see how actually, give me 1 second. Let me see if I can get this to work. Are we gonna get a clean connection? I gotta do my thing. Okay. Okay, should be good now. I think. Okay. You guys have, oh, you can't see it with all the stuff in the way. Well, like my case, I just keep it like a standard one color, but like I like being able to see into the side. I would not prefer a solid side panel. Like I like being able to make sure that, like, I don't know, my cables aren't somehow getting caught up in the fans and stuff like that. And I like it emitting some light in my overall setup, right? So, if no light was emitting from it, I think I would not prefer that. I like it with at least some ability to see inside. So I will say I agree that this particular case, it is very over the top. And it might, I don't know, is it over the top just because we've never seen anything like it? If this is the direction cases and manufacturers start designing towards, will this one day be a norm and not look over the top? The like the way that the cooling works, I don't have any problems with it. So aside from it looking different than what we're used to, what else can you guys nitpick about it? And I want you to nitpick it, right? This is an unreleased product. We don't know much about it. Based on what I've seen, I can't find too many holes about it. But cases, unless they are huge, aren't hard to move around. Yeah, like well, no. We can't say that. Some people do have like either mobility issues or like health type issues where what a norm or not normal, what a typical person would be able to do, it might be more difficult for them. This is like a vacuum sealed PC case in a cool way. Yeah. Phanteks be doing too much. Look, this versus. Do you guys not remember this? People straight up gooned all over themselves for this freaking thing. I hate this case with a passion. This thing. Like, the PC community went crazy over this. Ugly. I hate. If you have this case, I'm sorry. I think it's personally ugly. If you love it, that's all that matters. But from my perspective, this thing, horrible looking. This, I like. Height is never gonna ever sponsor me with how much crap I've talked about their cases. I will say though, the height. What was that case? I forgot the name. The Revolt 3 though, I do like this height case. This case that I've used previously. This is an amazing case. I love this one. So height, if you want to, work with me on cool cases like this, for sure, but not on no ugly ass fish tank. It looks like a table with two shoeboxes glued together, but where can I get one? It does look like, again, like that modularity. It looks like it's separate components put together, which is exactly what, this is what a graphics card sticking into your motherboard looks like. I picked the PC case up from the display port. I have been known to pick the PC case up from kind of like the lip where you get at the IO shield, because sometimes that's indented in computers. It does provide like a little lip that you can grab onto kind of closer to the top. I have been known to use that. Why does it look like a console? Probably because it's somewhat like vertical, because it's not a flushed out box. It's kind of like a slimmer vertical type case. It kind of it kind of gives like PlayStation 5-ish vibes. Thermaltake level 10 designed by BMW is what you were talking about earlier. Oh! Yeah. Wait. This is the one that my buddy Martin had. I did not realize this was... Wait. Is this slightly different? Because this one looks different than this one. This was a level 10 GT. But yeah, no. This is in some content on the channel because my friend Martin used to have this case. Yeah, that's where I got the handle on top idea from. This case, which yeah, I do see the similarities between this Thermaltake case and the Phanteks EX5. But yes, that is exactly where in my mind I remembered the case, the handle from. Yes, in decline. Yes, exactly. So if the GPU is getting its air from open airspace in the room, does it have a dust filter under it? That's a good question. I don't know if any of these creators talked about it. But if this look. You see how this was taken, like you see how you can just take that off? You see how this like can be pulled off? If you pull that off and dust it or wipe it down, then this is a good point. What is the dust situation like? I'm gonna, if I had to assume, I would assume it doesn't have specifically a dust filter. It does have, like, the mesh on the case will pick up dust as well, but finer dust that gets through the mesh section, it's probably gonna get into the graphics card. But that's what you dust for. Like, even with dust filters and stuff, your PC will still get somewhat, like, some level of dust, right? Like, dust will find its way into your PC. I don't know if, again, this is going to be on a case-by-case basis, depending on how dusty your personal environment is. I don't know if I've ever really had issues when I've used cases without dedicated dust filters on the mesh panels. And, like, I think if you dust your PC regularly, I don't think it would be a concern. It's one of those things where, like, maybe if you don't dust it for like 5 years, then yeah, there's gonna be a lot of buildup. But that, I guess we can do the next poll. I'm gonna end that poll. How often do you dust your PC? We've done this poll in the past, but we've got new people here, so PC. So monthly or more frequent. So either monthly or even more frequent. Every 2 to 3 months. Ooh, maybe not. Let's see. Never. Okay. Here we go. It's kind of hard to run a perfect poll with only 4 options given. But how often you guys dust your PC? I'm gonna be honest. I do mine like every 4-ish months or so. I don't do it super often. Even though I do have a more portable, smaller case. It's just because I don't need to. Like, my PC doesn't get like crazy dusty. I have it pretty elevated. It's not on the ground on carpet and stuff. I don't have pets. So it's gonna depend person to person. But there are some people who just never dust their PC. So very much a modern level GT. I am seeing it. I don't know what Martin did with this case. I gotta ask him. This thing was like $300 or something. Wait. Did they re-release this? No, this was published in 2011. Yeah. So they did not re-release this. My GPU is 340. Ooh, I think 340 might fit into this case. It might fit. That's only asking for another centimeter. It's so strange how. So let's see. Okay, which one? So we watched these two. Let's watch. What channel is this one? I've seen this guy before, but unfortunately, I don't know every content creator off the top of my head. But let's watch his.
Here's an absolutely crazy prototype. This here is something very special. This is super early sample. I think I'm one of the only, if not the first guy in the world in media to actually see what's inside. Whoa, that is a very different idea of how the PC should work. Phanteks has thought that, why don't we just cut the box out and then just leave the main bits to make it look very, very different. The GPU will go in there. Obviously our power supply still goes on the bottom over there. Motherboard, IO box goes in there. GPU, 4-slot GPU, so any GPU, but only one GPU. And then a power supply goes on the bottom of there. I've never seen anything like this. So
only one GPU. I mean, I don't know how many people are running multi-GPU setups or using a GPU on top of loss of scaling. If you are in the chat, let me know. But I think for the the vast majority of PC, like people in the PC building community, one GPU is enough. If we ran a poll, I like just pulling a random ass guess out of, you know, my ass. I feel like less than 10% of all PC users out there use more than one GPU. But in the enthusiast community, the percentage is going to be a lot higher. But yeah, let me know if you do use multi-GPU setup in your main rig.
What I have over here is an AIO, which means that it already comes with integrated cooling. Our 360mm AIO will go there. Okay. Oh, interestingly, if you look at the back panel, there is a fan grill. And if you look behind, we've got a fan that blows from the outside into there to cool the back of the CPU.
That's something I did not catch. Good. I'm glad I watched this one. I did not catch that from the other two videos. So we do have to consider that motherboard also has VRM components on it, right? Which normally can get cooled by some kind of airflow going through the case. Even with this backside fan, sure, you're cooling the rear of the socket, which normally in most cases don't have anyways. But so we know the intakes here. Where's the exhaust for this motherboard chamber to have some like direction of airflow for the VRMs? Now again, I would imagine Phanteks engineers are smart enough to like design this and then test it with somewhat high end components so that they're not just burning up, you know, the VRMs on a motherboard. But that I am very curious about that. This would be something very cool to see, like a like CFD like simulation from Gamers Nexus or something, to see the airflow, what direction it goes. But yeah,
That's very clever, because often the back of the CPU gets very warm as well. But now we get cool air onto there, and you can see 360mm rad, and the intake from here. That is very, very interesting. I've never seen anything like that. Phanteks has told me that this is like very early sample, but it looks really, really cool. Front panel I/O, and then the actual power button is in there to cool the back of the CPU. That's very clever, because often the back of the CPU gets very warm as well, but now we get cool air onto there, and you can see 360mm rad, and the intake from here. That is very, very interesting. I've never seen anything like that. Phanteks has told me that this is like very early sample, but it looks really, really cool. Front panel I/O, and then the actual power button is in there. I'm excited. I don't know if I'm allowed to show you this, guys, yet, but here's an absolutely crazy prototype.
sorry, the audio thing. Here, let's watch one more. I'm just gonna not mute my mic. Let me know if the audio comes through double, because I'm gonna let the source audio come through, but I'm gonna leave my mic. It's because when I have to mute and switch back and forth, that's when I screw it up. Who's this one?
Can you see yourself using...
This one is from John Tech. Okay, let me know how the audio is. I'm just gonna leave my mic, and it might slightly double, but it shouldn't be too bad.
a PC case like this? This is the Phanteks EX5 Plus. It's an open frame chassis concept with dedicated compartments. We have the GPU shroud that's removable, has mesh on top for airflow, and a window to see your beautiful GPU. Also another compartment for your power supply, which is not removable because this is where the USB ports are located. The top window displays your motherboard with an AIO cooler that's already pre-installed. As you can see, the tubes for the AIO are nicely snug, which leads directly to the last compartment, which is specifically made for a 360 radiator. Airflow intake is here and exits the back. And lastly, there's a fan behind the motherboard for increased airflow. The design is minimalistic with some RGB strips, and this will be shown more at Computex 2026. Stay tuned for a more in-depth review on this case. Can you see yourself using...
Okay, so this video actually gave us some insight with regards to the bracket holding the graphics card. So maybe you can barely see it. It's because these are all short form. I don't even know if Phanteks is there a long form video of this? Yeah, see, Phanteks specifically only allowed create these like 5 creators that they sent this case out to only make short form content, because it's on TikTok, it's on Instagram Reels, and it's on YouTube Shorts. But looking at this case, there's no long form video that exists of it. So we can only look at this tiny vertical slice of video. I was trying to get an idea of the you see that bracket? You guys can't, you can barely see it probably, but how the GPU box is held on. I was trying to see like how much more length you have in here. I don't know what graphics card he's using, but man. Your music plays during the video. The music playing during the video is fine, because the music should be pretty quiet. Oh my god. Sorry. The music was a little bit loud today. I thought I had it at 25% volume, but it was at 35. Thanks for calling that out. I appreciate it. That was my bad. That was on me. I don't like shorts. Me neither. Normally, I have an add-on called No YouTube Shorts. So when I'm on my desktop, I get 0 YouTube Shorts. Unfortunately, I can't do that on my phone. Otherwise, I would. Even though I make YouTube Shorts content, I do not like YouTube Shorts. It would be easier for me if YouTube Shorts just went away completely, because then I don't have to make shorts to play the game and keep up with my fellow creators in competition, right? It's just more work for me, and I don't know, just shorts, there's studies that are coming out showing that it's basically brain rotting everybody. But unfortunately, the game of YouTube is you need the most viewership and retention, and shorts ads is a part of that equation. So to be successful on YouTube, to some degree, I think that you have to kind of entertain shorts, or at least try it if your channel is not popping off. So yeah, I have to do shorts too, but I would just prefer YouTube to just get rid of it. But no to 1 million subs. Yeah, right. No way that's happening. GTA 6 is coming out the end of this year. I'm nowhere close to 1 million subs. Yeah, I think the newer generation thing, I prefer long term. Yep, it is a new, younger and new. Even though they're, I mean, come on, my parents I've seen, and my like wife parents, my in-laws and stuff. I've seen a lot of old people watch shorts too. So we can't just say it's only young people, but I would say that the target is definitely them. But it leaks out, and people of all ages watch shorts. I will admit that I sometimes get caught doom scrolling on shorts. It's so easy to do. So that's kind of why I limit myself, at least on desktop. And I wish I could limit it better on YouTube. On the YouTube app, you could tell it to not feed you shorts, but it is so easy to bypass. All you have to do once you reach your 15-minute time limit or whatever is say ignore for today, and that's it. Yeah, it's annoying. I'd rather use my own fans in AIO. I think you will be able to on this case. It would be crazy of them not to allow you to swap it out, because what if this AIO or, you know, the pump fails? You would have to be able to replace it with something, whether it be from Phanteks or another brand. I'm pretty sure this is just held in place very standardly, like with... Actually, does this show any angles? Yeah, look. You can kind of see it on that shot. It's just like a typical bracket. So pretty much, I think, aside from like ultra thick boy AIO radiators, I think a standard 360 AIO should be able to fit in here. So you should be able to route it. That shouldn't be a problem. And using your own fans, same thing. Ideally, I want to dust monthly. In reality, it's once a year. What's the vote so far? Of the people who voted so far, monthly or more frequent is 3rd place. every 2 to 6 months is the majority of the people. Okay, so people do dust their PCs. Yearly or longer is 29% in second place, and then never is in last place. So at least the majority of people dust to some degree. I clean the mesh dust filters once every week and give it a deep clean with my electric air compressor every 3 months. Dang. For me, as you guys saw my setup earlier, right? Like, how much stuff do you guys have connected to your computer? I have, as you can see, I use my computer as a shelf too. The temperatures are fine. See, it is what, like 55C. I guess a little bit on the warmer side, but I am streaming and yeah, I have a bunch of tabs open and I'm doing stuff. But like, if you only get, I have a lot of stuff plugged into my PC, and I don't dust. Oh wait, what's going on? You guys can't see it. So here's my PC. Sorry, I'm screwing up today, guys. But I have like a lot of things that are hooked up to my PC. So if you go to the backside, because I'm running like 3 monitors, like, you know, mic, I'm running a stream deck, just a bunch of random stuff. It's a lot of stuff to plug and unplug that it's just annoying to have to do so frequently to dust. So that's why I don't dust more often than I do. Yeah, every 4 to 6 months, I think, which lines up with the LAN schedule. Basically, if I'm already going to take my PC out to go to a LAN party, then why not dust it while I'm doing that? So it kind of lines up with that. Deadman says, I see no issues with shorts at all, even with being caught in the void of doom scroll. I think that's a huge problem. Especially for the younger generation. Like when your brain is still forming and stuff like that. Maybe for like adults, you know, 18, 21 plus or whatever. Yeah, you can choose, like your brain's developed enough, you can choose whether or not you want to partake in that stuff. But for kids, it's so easily addictive. And for my girls, now that I'm a dad, like we don't give them screen time. Like they don't watch TV. Except for like the very small occasion where like if we have family over and we have the TV going and stuff like that, but we don't normally have the TV going when the girls are awake. We don't give them iPads or phones and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm definitely afraid of all that stuff for when they grow up. It's only gonna get worse. Am I a billionaire yet? Not even close. Not even a millionaire. Not even 100. No, can I call myself? How do you consider yourself a millionaire? Does that count investments in stocks and stuff? Or are we just talking about like liquid cash in the bank? I owe money to the bank. We haven't paid off this house yet. Even in that regard, even with my investments, with how much we owe to the bank, I'm not even considered a millionaire. Do I stream playing games? Nah, I don't. Every time I've tried streaming playing games, the viewers aren't interested. I think people like talking about PC components and like deal hunting and stuff more. I have streamed playing games before and viewership drops off very fast. I came in late and didn't see the ventilation around the GPU enclosure. It's just mesh. It is just mesh. Can I show it real quick again? Did he hold it? Yeah, see, so you can see right through it. It is mesh. Yeah, it's looking like there's no filter. Though, you could always buy your own filters, cut it out, glue some magnets to it, and then boom, you've got yourself a magnetic dust filter that you made. But, yeah, so there is, guys, Phanteks is not a company made, like, of dummies, right? They thought about it. I don't know why, and I'm not talking to you about you specifically, all the beastly. Other people in this earlier in the stream in the chat were like adamant, like that's gonna be a hot box. That's not gonna cool well. When it's like, do you think? I know NZXT in the past like their front panels used to not have any ventilation at all. And yeah, you could say like, okay, what a bunch of dummies making those hot boxes. But I think we're past that phase now. Companies know people freak out over cooling, so it's considered these days when they design cases. I have to at least surface dust once or twice a month. Yeah, surface dusting is a different story. It's a lot easier because you just wipe off. You don't have to like move the PC. You don't have to take it outside, all that stuff. If this case proves to keep temps lower, it will sell quickly. Well, it depends on the price, I think, actually. So I made a prediction in the Discord server. Dude, just looking at this thing, I'm thinking it's no way cheaper than $200. Though now that I'm thinking about it, how expensive is it really to make a case? If Phanteks sells it for over 200 bucks, it's just gonna be, I think, a standard case release. It's like, oh, a cool case came out, but it's so expensive. I think if Phanteks, like, could they sell this for 150? I think if this is 150, people are gonna lose their minds, and this is gonna sell like hotcakes. But just looking at the design, do I think? And it comes with the AIO though. Ooh, okay, that changes it up. Phanteks AIOs are not cheap either. Can they do this for 150? I don't think it's possible. Like, let's look up a Phanteks. Let's just look on Amazon. Let's look up a Phanteks 360 AIO. I mean, they ain't no thermal, right? So, whoops, why did I type in AIO? I meant millimeters. So yeah, so Phanteks 360 AIOs are like 130, 140, but these have LCDs. Non-LCD one, 90 bucks. So, some of the case cost, because it hasn't included AIO, it's already going to be baked in. But, I guess, are we more okay with the case being like 250 if 100 bucks of it goes to the AIO, making it really a $150 case if you don't include the AIO cost? So if they do it for 200, that's like $100 AIO, $100 bare like base case. I guess that makes it more reasonable. What are you guys thinking price wise? Like what? I don't know how many of you guys are. We didn't even poll that. Let me let the dust poll run for a bit longer. But $150 case to you. I'm saying if they do it for $150, I think it's like, and assuming there's like no major problems that gets found out later on, we still don't know enough about the case. But I'm thinking $150, they'll knock it out of the park. This thing will sell like hotcakes. It's going to be the most talked about thing. It's going to win case of the year for a lot of people, all that kind of stuff. At $200, it starts to become more of a standard case release, even though it is super unique. PC cases for like the last 5 years, there's been so many options for people, especially in the budget range. There's really no reason to overspend on a case anymore unless you just have the disposable income. Like, budget builders have been eating good for the last like even more than 5 years. There's never been a better time to go to Amazon, type in PC case, sort by under 60 bucks, and find like over 50 cases to choose from. This isn't my style, but 200 with the AIO is fair. Yeah, if it does come with an AIO, 200 is reasonable. 250 plus. Are cases expensive these days? AI to blame for that too? No. Cases are cheap. But most of those are very standard, like recycled designs or just like nothing innovative about it. I truly think this case is innovative. I like it. I would personally use it if it came in a ITX or micro ATX size, which I have I'm calling it. Why else have another EX case that they have somewhat soft announced through these content creators? Why make another mid-size, standard ATX size one? If you're gonna have another case in this series, it definitely has to be a different form factor. And the only way, in my opinion, to go is to go downsize. I don't think anyone would care if this thing was extended ATX as much as people would care if there's a micro ATX or a mini ITX version of this case. So I'm hoping that's the announcement at Computex. And we'll see. no one is really building due to market prices and manufacturers are hurting. People are building. People are definitely building. If you're on any of the subreddits like PC Master Race, pre-built PCs, build a PC sales, people are building. It's definitely less than before, but there's still a market. And this case is one of the cases. This is the type of case that might convince people who already have a good functioning build to switch cases because it's that awesome looking, in my opinion. Like, this is not just a case for people to do a brand new build with. This is one where people who have been itching to do something with their PC, they've got like, you know, hundreds of dollars in their pocket, burning a hole, and they're just like, I just want to do something completely different, but not spend like thousands of dollars. This is a big change that you can do to your build for like hundreds of dollars and make it feel refreshed and brand new again. Motherboard makers have, yeah, but you guys have to consider the used market still exists. People are still building and they are buying stuff in the used market, but a lot of people who build using secondhand parts, they still go with new cases because new cases are priced well enough. There hasn't been like an overinflation of case prices and all that. So there are worries that some of the smaller companies won't survive because of it. I mean, we'll have to see. The thing is, even with some of the smaller companies falling by or like failing and like closing shop, there's still going to be plenty of like, and of any component you can think of, there's still going to be plenty of alternatives for people to choose from. Unfortunately, right? That's the sad truth. Like, even if, think of like what was it Height or I don't know, the Gamers Nexus reports, they talk to a bunch of companies, right? Like, even if we lose a couple of companies, there's so many case manufacturers that while it might suck, it's not gonna, I don't think it's gonna hurt the bottom line. I think we're still far off from not owning our own PCs, which might be a reality one day, but I think we're still pretty far off from it. PC is actually growing, which is crazy considering the economy, but that tells you how good PC and Steam really is. Yeah. I mean, it's really hard to get the exact sales numbers from all these different components and manufacturers and companies and things like that. And yes, I have seen those articles. Like, where's that Tom's Hardware motherboard sales decline? Motherboard sales collapse. I don't think we pulled this one up on the previous stream. But motherboard sales collapsed by more than 25% as chipmakers strangle enthusiast PC. 25%? That's a pretty big number, right? 25% is 1 out of 4. But considering how stupid expensive RAM is and SSDs are, you know, we keep on hearing about these things like, oh my god, DDR5 is 4 times the price it was last year. SSDs are triple the price as last year. And we're only seeing 25% so far. Maybe it might be even bigger. But like, hearing those numbers, RAM being 4 times as expensive and like PCs are unaffordable, it's like you cannot build a PC. I think people are being a little hyperbolic because we would be seeing numbers like 50, 60, 70% like collapse in sales, not 25%. 1 in 4 is a lot, but that means, like, if you think about like every person in the PC building space, for every one person that drops off not building a PC, there's still 3 others that do. So I don't know, looking at these numbers, a lot of these articles are sensationalists and like try to doom and gloom, but I don't think it's as bad as it is being reported, at least as of right now. The day I don't own my PC is the day I become a Steam PC user exclusively. Well, the day that we don't own our own PCs, hopefully prior to that, most of us will have the foresight to at least get some kind of hardware and then backup hardware that can last us a long time. But we'll see. I don't know. Is it going to be realistically in our lifetimes where we potentially won't own our own PCs and everything's going to be a cloud service? We will see. I'm pretty hopeful that that's not going to come, at least in my lifetime, though. There will always still be the option. It might be more expensive, but you know what? I've said it before. Like, PCs and gaming and stuff is such a relatively cheap hobby compared to, like, car enthusiasts and photographers and... What's another expensive hobby? Rock collections? No, I'm kidding. What else is another expensive hobby? Flying, like, you know, like getting your private pilot's license and stuff like that. There's so many other expensive hobbies where even if the average cost of building your own PC doubled eventually, that's still way cheaper than how much people spend on cars and photography gear and all that stuff. I don't want it to go that way, but I'm just saying, like, that's why I think it's gonna be a really, really long time until we don't own our own PCs, if at all. I hope it never happens. Even in dystopian society, hardware will always exist. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. There will be a way to get it. It might be more expensive, it might be more rare, but if you seek it out, I think it'll be there. I really wish AIO companies would lean more towards fully serviceable systems instead of being throwaway. I love the idea of getting expensive AIO like the Trix with the two-sided screen. You talking about like with the refillable thing? So that's one part of the equation. The other would be a disassemblable plate. Or like, you know, cooling block so that you can get the grime and gunk out of the machined like copper plate. As well as like a replaceable pump. The only issue is everything is so proprietary or specific to the design. Like, I don't think you can just take like a pump fan from one random AIO and put it into another company's AIO. Whereas you can do that with like PC case fans easily. A 120mm fan from Corsair can pretty much fit in any other brand's case, like ever. A power supply from Corsair can also fit in pretty much every other case's power supply basement that's made for standard ATX power supplies. But internal components for AIOs, not the case. In terms of being refillable, like the coolant and stuff like that, I don't know why that never caught on. Probably because there's no money to be made if people are gonna buy like $10 worth of fluid every X amount of years to replace in their AIO, as opposed to buying a whole new AIO. So it's like planned obsolescence, right? Maybe that's why it doesn't catch on. But yeah, no, I agree with you. AIOs, one of the biggest problems for me is not the points of failure, and it's kind of like, I guess it's just the points of failure is the biggest one, and then the cost. I thought the Asetek patent like expired or whatever. Didn't that happen? I thought within the last year or two, something big happened with the Asetek patent so that all the other AIO companies or designers and manufacturers were able to do more. Am I wrong about that? Can anyone, I guess I can look that up on the ChatGPT. Asetek patent expire. 1 year ago, Asetek's ubiquitous patent expires. Asetek's key water cooling patent expires today. Yeah, so that was, oh my god, that was like last year to this month. So I thought once this happened, because they kind of had like a stronghold on with this patent, the way it was worded, or like the patent was filed, that like it pretty much covered everything. But now I thought after this happening, it gave a lot of other AIO manufacturers more freedom. High power, yeah, model rocketry and model airplanes, like, you know, those could be very expensive as well. Yeah. I don't think that will ever happen. Just like people thought vinyl, CD, and Blu-ray would go away, but they still sell them in the billions. There is a big market of enthusiasts that just want the best quality. Yeah, so that's why I'm kind of hopeful that we won't ever not have hardware. But, you know, it makes for very good YouTube titles and tech news articles and stuff like that. So, refillable, replaceable hoses, replaceable pump, all of it, yeah. But it's kind of like, would you pay more? How much more would you pay for an AIO that was like that? It's kind of like, how much more would people pay for a framework laptop with the specs of a typical laptop, except the framework is more modular and changeable and replaceable and repairable, right? I think frameworks for the same specs, aren't they like 75% to 100% more the cost of an equivalent laptop? So like nearly double the price, right? Would you pay well, I guess if it's the Thermalright, hell yeah you would, because Thermalright AIOs for 360 millimeter are already $60 something. So then paying $130 for it to be completely replaceable or repairable, yeah, I think a lot of people would do that, because there are some like Trikes and other companies that sell like $200+ AIOs. Maybe Thermalright might be the company to do it. Thermalright has, I think, done consumers in the PC space good, or they've done us right in the past. So maybe they're going to be the ones to lead the charge for replaceable, repairable AIOs. Are there any custom water cooling CPU water blocks that have a screen? There are a lot. Wait. Oh, custom water cooling. Custom ones, not AIOs. Oh, I feel like the custom LCD CPU block. I feel like, oh, Corsair might have one. They do. Corsair, $200. Are you willing to spend that? Just for the block alone. So yeah, there it is. You get your hard, or I guess offline in here with the fittings and stuff like that. They do have it. Is Corsair the only one? This is not something I've really thought about, because Pacific SW1, let's see. Corsair might be the only one. Oh wait, no. Trix has one. Trix. Yeah, so this is a custom loop right there. So it looks like Trix, Corsair. Here it is. Dang, that thing looks huge. The issue is, I don't know. I've done one custom loop in my entire life, and it was a hardline loop. So that was like hard mode compared to soft tubing. But wait, where did that tab go? But yeah, but to me, like, this is too expensive. We're talking about $200 for only the pump block. Even if you got a non-LCD version, because yeah, I would agree, LCD is a little bit over the top, right? It's still over $100 just for this one thing that is missing the liquid, that is missing the tubes and fitting to make it work. This one thing costs more. It costs double what you could pay for a single all-in-one liquid cooler. But this is the enthusiast and super expensive side of PCs. I mean, aside from like, you know, 5090s and 9800, 9850 X32s or whatever, like, custom loops are like the most expensive niche within the PC building space, right? Aside from like a very expensive hardware, at least main hardware, it's gotta be custom, like to complete a custom loop where the graphics card has its own, and CPU both have their own plate. How much is their AIO? Corsair AIOs are on the pricier side. Corsair AIOs are like a Nautilus start. Well, so they have ones that's like 240. Oh, with the screen. I'm actually surprised by this. Starting at 99. But we want a 360 AIO. Where the heck are they? Why are they only showing me? What the heck? RGB AIO coolers. Shop all CPU coolers. Yeah, we're talking about 240. 360s from Corsair are like closer to 200-ish. Oh no, I guess they have the cheap one without the LCD for 129. So they even have ones, whole coolers that are like nearly half the price of the single pump block. What's up, Mextex? I almost feel like with custom liquid cooling, having one of those screens might be easier if you pulled it off of an existing AIO, but that seems risky. I don't think that's how that works. I don't think you just pull it off of an existing one and just use it for a custom loop. Oh, I see what you're saying. So you would cut the tubes and then try to yeah, how would that work? I guess you would still, if you control it through IQ, you can still get the pump to work. The AIO doesn't know anything outside of the pump, like, or the block, right? The block, this is where all your, like, you know, the impeller cables and all, like anything, if there's sensors, I guess, anything comes out of here. So if you have an existing AIO, you could cut the tubes and splice them, or remove the tubes and somehow get fittings or like super glue. I don't know, whatever you have, right? You could probably find a way. JB Wells, I don't know. To use an existing one, then yeah, I guess I could see that working. All you need. So this one, this doesn't have a pump in it. The pump. But okay. Actually, I don't think that would work. I don't know if the pump of a standard AIO would be strong enough to push through a whole custom loop. That's usually what, like, you have, like, a different pump and reservoir for. Yeah, I don't know if 360 or just, you know, normal AIO, the pumps in the blocks, I don't know if those are strong enough. We need more AIOs with the pumps separate from the block. The only other place to put it, usually, they put it at like the end of the radiator, right? Yeah, there's not that many with that design though. Custom loops are expensive, but mostly for fun. Yeah. But then, once you build it, it's like pretty and it sits there. And then, I mean, sure, you could achieve better cooling. But in my opinion, again, not many people are running the type of hardware that even need a custom loop, like, to run at adequate temperatures. If you want to min-max and get like super low temps just because of it, not because it's necessary, then for sure, but you better open up your wallet. Hey, what's up, West B chillin'? What up? Yeah, okay, yep, you're talking about right here. By the way, Danny, custom loop CPU blocks rarely has to pump like on AIOs. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't get far enough down to chat. But we just talked about that earlier, how the pump... that's why I don't think the pump would be strong enough. Geez, I got a 360 Corsair one, but it was part of a secondhand PC I bought. I didn't know. Yeah, no. Corsair components are really expensive if you buy them brand new. But they're all over the secondhand market, and I talked about this in my most recent pickup, because I picked up a bunch of Corsair stuff. But yeah, Corsair, as soon as a Corsair AIO fan or case or something hits the secondhand market, at least around me, the price is like 50% off compared to brand new prices. So if you for whatever reason want IQ Corsair stuff, look secondhand. A lot of that stuff is still usable, and it will be way cheaper. Question, I got a free MSI Gaming Trio 5060 Ti 16 gig CPU, and the CPU I have is a 5800 XT. Is that good, or should I upgrade my CPU? You're fine. The 5060 Ti 16 gig with a 5800 XT, you're good. No need to upgrade. Especially with the prices they are now. Also, about this, do you feel like you need to upgrade? Like when you're playing games, is it like stuttering? Are you like getting very low frame rates you're not happy with? A lot of the times, you guys do not need me to tell you if you need to upgrade or not. You will know. Like when you are using your hardware, you will feel something like in your gut feeling or in the back of your mind, like this is being held back. But this pairing, I think, is fine. Without even testing it in front of me, I know this is going to pair well together. Just with the performance relative to each other. But yeah, you don't need validation from some guy on YouTube to tell you if you need to upgrade or not. You will know. Like when the performance gets like bad, you'll know it's time to upgrade. If now you are having problems, maybe you are having problems. It might be something else going on your PC, because you should not be having that many problems with the 5800 XT CPU with the 5060 16 gig, 5060 Ti 16 gig. So it might be your OS is getting like bogged down and slow over the years. You might have problems elsewhere, like maybe power delivery with the bad power supply. RAM is acting up, motherboard, but assuming everything is working fine, this should be good. Hey, what's up, Riddler? Thermalright Frozen Edge 360 only costs $60. Yeah, even their LCD screen ones are so cheap. I saw a really high-end build that was destroyed by a custom loop because one of the pipes burst during assembly. How did it get destroyed? If it's during assembly, the PC should be off. And if that's the case, that shouldn't be a problem. So, unless the system was on, then, and with like electricity running through it, then it should not be. You could just wipe it off, dry it up, you know, compress air on it, and you should be fine. Bro, my PC gets so dusty within a month. I don't know why my place so dust. I'm gonna end that poll, but do you have carpet? Do you vacuum often? Do you have air filters in your ducting system, like your central AC or your furnace? Like dust accumulation is a thing, yes. Do you have do you use an air purifier? But the dust, we shed like dead skin cells and all this crap and get dust in the air, and we bring in dirt from outside and all that stuff, right? But carpet is able to hold on to dust a little bit better. And yeah, just like, you know, if you are running any kind of like AC or heater or anything, like if you have like an HVAC system in your house, air is moving, so you know, if there's dust from somewhere getting into the house, it's going to circulate and get all over. So I tried tracking those down. You could try to get an HVAC cleaning service where they come in with a super strong vacuum and suck up all your vents. Have you seen videos of those? Let's watch some more YouTube shorts as much as we hate it. Let's see. HVAC cleaning. Some people are like, let's see. Here we go. Like, this is what some people's houses, their HVAC systems look like. And then when air goes, you know, through, the dust particles travel with it. This one's not even that bad. Where's the really bad ones? I've seen some really bad ones. Nope, that's not it. Air duct cleaning. Here we go. Well, this is a dryer vent. But imagine this except the rest of your house. So yeah, no, the dryer vent is a little bit worse because of like specifically lint. Dirty vent. Okay, where is the H? Like this right here. This is not. I don't. This might also be. So this looks like a dryer vent, but where's the other air vents? Yeah, this kind of stuff, right? So you can clean the grates and stuff by yourself, but you kind of need more specialty tools if you're cleaning deeper in. But yeah, we're talking about dust and air that's flowing through your house. If this is what it has to go through, might be something you might want to consider. Take it easy, Hollow Rain. First custom loop I ever did was the FX8350, and I feel like the CPU needed it. Yeah, those ran pretty hot. Also, the more people live in your house, the more dusty. Dust is dead skin. Yeah, which is kind of gross if you think about it, right? Dead skin. Holy fire hazard, yeah. Clothes also, yeah, because clothes, lint, whenever you wash your clothes, your clothes breaks down every time you dry, right? That's what the lint catcher and the lint ducting in your house is for, to catch that stuff. But yeah, I mean, dust is just that, like, everything. It, like, just bits of everything that falls off of us and our clothes, microplastics, it's all in there. Yes, you're right. Yeah, I remember that. During the assembly process, you do have to power on the pump to cycle the liquid, but you can also do that with the power supply and one of those, you short the power supply to send power through the either Molex or SATA to get the pump running. You should be able, there should be a way, if you want to be really safe about it, to power on your pump without liquids getting anywhere near any power or any like electronics. I'm trying to think when I did, because I did the custom loop on stream. When I powered it on, let's see if we can find that one. How did I do it? Did I do it with an external power supply or an internal one? If I did it with an internal one, then how many years ago was that? There was a stream where I specifically, so I built the loop and then I powered it on. Come on, where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Dang, this was like 3 years ago. Custom loop. There's no way we're this far back. Oh, wow. It was 4 years ago. That's how long it's been. Okay. So we leak testing the custom loop. Let me see this. How did I do it? And my setup is not that. Oh, yeah! I did do it with an external one, I think. Let me see. How many of these people are still in chat today? It was, look, 4 years ago. Yeah, May 11th, 2022. Oh my god. Almost exactly 4 years ago was when I did the hardline, my first ever custom loop. With the help of Corsair. So I did plug in the power supply externally. I did not use the one internal system. So I think I only plugged in the loop itself. Okay, thank God. Because if I was going to criticize, or if I was going to mention that, there's a safe way to do it, I would hope that I would have done the same thing. Did I get the first zoom in? I remember filling that thing up was so annoying. Let me look at chat. Is anybody in the chat still around today in today's stream? Okay, where's the power on section? Kale, were you in here? Shane Eslick. Yeah, there's some old names in here. But, let's see. I know you're one of the very long time viewers. Wait. Filling the loop. Where's the power on? Oh, there it is. Oh no, I already turned it on. Whoops. I want to see where the first on is. Here it is, maybe. No, it's already on. There it is. The gurgling. Here we go. There it is. I still have the system too. I don't know what to do with it. It's still a very capable system. It has a 3080 in it, and then I forget what CPU it was. It might be a 5600X, actually. Not the most or maybe a 3900X. I don't remember the. Oh wait, build specs 5600X. Yeah, I haven't taken it apart because there's no easy way to drain. I didn't like the Corsair. The kit that Corsair sent me did not have like a drain valve or anything like that. So I use it from time to time, but I have not upgraded the components and stuff just because with a hard line loop, it's so annoying. This is why I would never have my own custom loop personal main PC, because just like if you want to take the graphics card out or the CPU out, you gotta undo the loop, drain it. Oh, screw that, man. Not only is it expensive, it's inconvenient. Okay, I missed a super chat. Where did that super chat go? Wait, did I miss a super chat? Or is that from the other stream? No, I did not miss a super chat. That was on the stream I was watching, I think. Okay, I didn't miss anything. Can you check when someone subscribed to your channel? Somewhat. Like Broku, let me see. Let me click on your name. I think when you leave a comment on a video, I can check. If you have it publicly shown. Yeah, I can't check it right now, but if you leave a comment on like a recent video and I click your name, it'll say how long you've been publicly subscribed, but you have to share your public subscriptions. Damon Blackburn says, I was there. I'm always watching. Always. Were you in the chat? Or are you one of them lurkers? This is why it's good to clean your jar filter every time after use and the vents. Oh yeah, we clean our lint filter every single time. But the vents, I'm pretty bad about that. I clean it about once a year, like in the spring/summertime. But then in the winter and fall when it's raining and cold, I am not, because you gotta go outside. You gotta put the thing on the drill and then it like rotates and you pull it out. Yeah. Haven't had a house fire yet though. Poop particles is also in dust, apparently. Fart particles? Maybe. Then add smoking and vaping to the mix and pets. Yeah. It's all there. Oh man, how are we 2 hours in the stream already? Okay. Let me check to make sure nothing was on the Discord. Okay, nothing was submitted to the Discord. Give the PC to Casey. Give all PCs to Casey. Casey's rig is pretty good right now. It's not too far off from it. He's got a 3070, so one step down from the 3080. And he has a 5600 or 5600X. I forgot what I put into the build for him last. But he's pretty set. But yeah. Hydrate reminder. Again, Eddie. Eddie, son, thank you. Thank you for the reminder. Did you guys see the LAN recap video? If you didn't see it, because YouTube isn't sending out all notifications anytime I upload stuff to some people, watch it. It is very sentimental, at least to me. I make no money from it because I used Avicii's song, but I did not care. For me, it was more important to use a song that captured the vibes of our LAN parties the last 10 years. And The Days was that song. So I used it. I got copyright claimed and I make no money from it. Avicii or whoever controls his estate or his label, they make all the money, but I do not care because the song works very well with the story I was trying to tell. But yeah, definitely check out the latest video that I released this past weekend, which I originally did not plan to have anything released. But I got into the mood to put together that compilation. What's up, Rolling Whales? Bro, my buddies vapes and smokes around his PC every time I help him with it. It's gross smelling and sticky. I effing hate it. I have dealt with both vape and cigarette smoke. Actually, no, cigar smoke, because Unc Ken's PC was cigar smoke, not so much cigarette. But yeah, cigar smoke was actually not as bad as the vape PC I had to work on before. The vape PC, oh my god, when you have an AIO, oh, that sticky residue gets into the tight fin stacks. It's so bad. Where's that bot? Is the Stream Elements bot here or did it shut down? So you guys didn't hear, Stream Elements might be going out of business, and that's what I use for my stream stuff. Stream Elements is in sales talks. I hope they don't go out of business. For people who aren't streamers, you probably don't care about this news, but for me, who is a streamer, who Stream Elements helps run this stream with the automated chatbots and the donation system, if you donate directly and not through YouTube. Wait, is the notification still playing? Let me see, give me 1 second. Where is... Yeah, I don't even see that window anymore. Give me 1 second. Stream Elements. Activity feed. Here we go. Can I replay? Let me replay this. Okay, it's still playing. But that notification is from Stream Elements. So I need to reset all this up. If it's actually going to go out of business. But it doesn't look like the stream bot has been talking in chat. At least I haven't been seeing it. But I thought I last updated it correctly. If not, I don't know if it's going to matter because the bot's not even working. So, but no, my latest specs is in my most recent build update video. Which is an Intel Core Ultra 265K and RTX 4070 Super, 64 gigs of RAM. Pretty standard, kind of standard stuff, I guess. Nothing too crazy. I don't have the highest end CPU and I don't have the highest end GPU. Did you hear about the nuclear fusion AI data center that's being built, but not earthquake proof for the area? No, I did not. What? This thing is currently being built, and they already are aware that it's not earthquake proof, but it's nuclear powered. That sounds like something that's not gonna make it through. Did chat just freeze again the whole time? I swear, this... Why does it do that? Where was Jason to let me know that chat was frozen this entire time? Yeah, what the heck? Is this because Stream Elements is failing? Here, give me 1 second. Let me refresh this. Huh. This add-on seems broken. Well, no point in having chat if it's the old stuff. I don't watch UFC or racing. What? Those are not things I normally watch. I watch boxing, but yeah, I'm not really a fan of UFC. And when you say racing, you mean like F1? Because I've never been a fan really of Formula. Let me try this again. Let me try this again. What the heck is wrong with this window? Cool. Cool, YouTube. It's gonna be broken. There we go. Why does it keep on doing that? Okay, there we go. We're good. Jason was just here either last week or the week before. I mean, it's pretty hard to watch like streaming content. I'm curious how some of you guys are able to do it every single week, honestly. I know what, like, for me being here, like, you know, it's pretty easy because I'm talking and stuff. But I am very thankful that the people who do show up every single week are here on a weekly basis with, you know, 2 to 3 hours of their time carved out to hang out and chat. Because I feel like, and I'm just one streamer, right? Could you, like, and you guys chose my stream to watch, or do you guys watch other streamers too? Now, imagine sitting through someone's stream 2 to 3 hours. That's for one person. But there's a lot of people who stream. Like, I have friends that stream, like Craft Computing, Zach's Tech Turf. There's also streamers all over Twitch that you can, or UFD Tech. There's also, yeah, tons of other streamers all over Twitch that do like gaming content. I'm trying to think of any other PC specific in the PC space streamers. But either way, like, there's tons of streams that go on in a given week. How do you guys find the time to watch all of that? And to even watch my channel of all the channels, if you only watch one stream, to me, I'm thankful, but I'm also like, yeah, it'd be way too hard to keep up with everything. So when people don't show up to stream, I totally understand it, right? It makes sense. There's only so many hours in a day, so many hours in a week, that 2 to 3 hours is, even once a week, is a lot of time, given anything else you could be doing. No kids, I'm free at night. Okay, that makes sense. There's only one streamer I'd watch over you, Danny, and that would be Jay's 2 cents. And Jay does stream occasionally. And when I say occasionally, I mean like once in a blue moon. Jay has been known to do streams, but it is very infrequent. Oh, wait, the WAN show too. Like Linus's stream, they do that every week as well on Friday. So, yeah, for the people who do watch like a lot of stuff, different streamers. Okay, let's see when the last time Jay streamed. His last live, 5 months ago, and he was playing games. But then he also had, wow, before that, it was the Read the Effing Manual podcast show that he had, but that was over a year ago. Here's another Starfield 2 years ago live stream. I could have sworn Jay has streamed more frequently than this. I wonder if he hides his streams. I swear Jay has streamed more than just these two within the last 2 years. Aside from his RTFM. But yeah. Yeah, I guess... oh, Bitwit has been doing those IRL streams. Let's look at Bitwit. So he has been live streaming a ton. 1 day ago, 12 days ago, 13 days, 3 weeks, 1 month. So he streams, it looks like about once a week, but look at his stream lengths. 6 hours and 50 minutes. 5 hours and 24 minutes. 1 hour 32 there. 3 hour 56. He's been doing these IRL streams where you know, it's interesting because if you watch Twitch, you'll know that IRL streaming is a huge thing right now. Like I Show Speed, and that's the only name I can think of off the top of my head. But there's a lot of IRL streamers. But he's kind of doing a crossover of that with usually tech-related content. So, I mean, geez, to sit through an entire 8-hour stream, I don't know if many people do that. I think people, like, come and go. I miss Barnacle Nerdgasm. He still streams. I just checked him out. I was thinking about him recently for some reason. He still does his live stream, I think, weekly. Yeah, 4 days ago, 11 days, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. He still streams every single week, basically the same frequency as I do. His videos, though, I don't know if he's been making... Yeah, he hasn't made a video for like over a year. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. My God. In the last like 4 years, he's been at like a 1 year, 1 video per year interval. But yeah, so tons of people to watch. I do want to say I appreciate you guys being here in my stream though, because I still consider myself a relatively small channel. I know I have like hundreds of thousands of subscribers, but that doesn't mean anything in this day and age. It's all about the views and, you know, the live stream community, and we have a pretty small, tight-knit community. It's a good, a lot of you guys stream on different days of the week. Yeah. I do have a stream that's coming up that will be on a Tuesday in 2 weeks from now, I think. June 2nd, I'll have a stream that week instead of June 3rd. So just letting you guys know ahead of time for those who are here every week. I will put out an announcement for it, and there's a reason for that stream being 1 day before, and I will explain it in the announcement. Yeah, it's like a 1 a.m. stream for you to watch me. Well, I thank you for your commitment. I watch other streamers as well as at different times. It's my modern day TV guide. Barnacle is the first streamer I saw Bitcoin mining. Yeah, I don't know what he's been up to really in terms of like... I wonder if it's just the burnout that got to him, because, I mean, he's been making content. He's been streaming. Remember he used to stream with Jay 12 years ago. They used to stream together, and then they kind of had a somewhat of a, not falling out, but like, I forgot why they stopped streaming together. But he's been making content for how long now? Barnacles' oldest video is 18 years ago. 18 years, 16 years, 14 years, 14 years. I guess more consistently he was making content 14 to 13 years ago with his gigantic 3 screens. Remember that? He put 3 TVs on his desk like this. But I mean, it must be burnout, right? You've been around for that long? Yes, I do have a really cool video that is coming up. I don't know when I'm going to drop it because it hasn't happened yet. But I am going to go pick up some parts. I don't want to say too much because this could be either a crazy good deal or a complete waste of time is all I'm saying. But I do have a unique part pickup video that it's like something that I've not done before in terms of the type of listing it is. And the pickup is tomorrow if the person doesn't flake. And then once I do that, it's likely not going to be on this weekend's video. It's either going to be the next week or the week after that, depending on if I have any sponsor spots to put into it. But yeah, this one should be fun. We'll see. I haven't met up with the person yet, but already it's been kind of a roller coaster of a chat. So he used to stream with, yeah, Chris Perillo is also in the Seattle area, I believe. He's another old school. All these old school YouTubers. Like, I think he started posting again recently. Crazy. So back in the day, I remember watching Chris Perillo for like phone stuff. I thought, you know, I saw him as one of these huge YouTubers. It's crazy that by this point, I have surpassed him in subscribers. Which again, subscribers doesn't mean everything. But it's so weird. Like, I watched Chris Pirillo, like, let's see, what year is this? Probably, you know, 7, 8, 9 years before I even thought of even becoming a YouTuber. He has been making some kind of content. I don't know what kind of content, but does he still live stream? And he still live streams pretty regularly. Yeah. But yeah, old school YouTubers. Wait, Chris Pirillo was on Tech TV and G4? Is that where his origins are from? I was not aware. You're playing Rust while watching? I don't think I've ever played Rust in my entire life. I must admit. It looks fun, but by this point, I feel like it's too late to get into. But then people probably say that about Classic WoW, and that's not true at all. How old is Rust? Rust came out in early access in 2013, and it took 5 years to get to official release in 2018. But I've never played Rust, but I have played similar games like Ark and other survival stuff. I like your content, represent the more of the masses, down-to-earth content. For the most part, I have been known to make some more expensive, less, I guess, attainable content before, but that's definitely not my main, like, you know, bulk of the content I make. I probably could. My email inbox filled with companies wanting to send me expensive stuff for free, but I definitely try to limit how often I do that. I could have sworn there's one more thing I wanted to do before stream ends. Nope, Libre Novo, that's what we talked about in there. No, I think that's actually it. So, alright. I am gonna go have some dinner. Gonna hang out with the family, give the girls a bath, and then yeah, work on some stuff behind the scenes. So no video this weekend. I know I said that last weekend and then I dropped a video, but actually no video this weekend. I do have a YouTube Shorts scheduled for this weekend, but that's about it. But yeah, I guess I will catch you guys in the Discord server or in the comments of any video or whatever. And I'll see you here same time, same place next week. Take it easy, everyone. Bye-bye. You're right. Nerd on a budget doesn't necessarily mean nerd on a low budget. Budget just means you are smart with your money and you allocate the funds accordingly to the different things you need to buy. You can budget for an expensive item. It's like budgeting is limiting money, you know, going out elsewhere so you can focus it. Yes, I do understand that. But most people get mad when I do expensive content saying that's not budget, that's too expensive, because people in their minds understand budget to only mean cheap. But anyways, rant over. You guys have a good night. I'll see you in the Discord server as well as next week. Bye-bye.